Dear starseed from Gaia, the one you have been longing for is not lost. They are converging with you right now, drawn by the same sacred pull that brought you to this exact moment. I am Ophelia, emissary of the Galactic Federation of Light, and I speak to you today carrying a transmission from the Arcturian Love Council, delivered with precision for this moment in your journey. You did not find this video by chance. Your heart called this message in. Something deep within your soul already knows that the rarest kind of love, the kind that mirrors your very essence, is not a dream you have been foolish to hold on to. It is a divine appointment already written into the fabric of your path. By the end of this transmission, you will understand exactly how to recognize the one whose frequency is a sacred match for yours, and why everything you have walked through in love has been preparing you for this reunion. But here is the first revelation. The reason this person feels so rare is because they are. Not everyone carries the soul's signature that aligns with yours. And the Arcturian Love Council wants you to know today that rarity is not absence. It is precision. The universe is not withholding love from you. It is protecting the sanctity of what is being prepared for you. This is not content. It is a transmission. Something in your soul is ready to remember. Like this transmission to affirm to the universe. My heart is ready for divine love. Comment 11:1 if you feel your heart awakening to this truth. Subscribe if you are on the twin flame path and aligning with sacred union. Your heart knows why you are here. And here is what no one tells you about that rarity. It is not a gift that comes without a cost. Being the kind of soul whose frequency cannot be faked, cannot be manufactured, cannot be dimmed without your full awareness. That kind of soul pays a price in every ordinary room they walk into. You have felt it, the way certain conversations leave you hollow, as though you handed something precious across a table and it was returned to you unopened. The way certain people exhaust you without doing anything obviously wrong, not through cruelty, not through malice, but simply through the particular friction of incompatible depths. The way you have smiled through gatherings and driven home feeling more alone than if you had never gone at all. The silence of the car somehow more honest than everything that was said in that room. That is not dysfunction. That is discernment. Your energy body is doing exactly what it was designed to do. Filtering, sorting, protecting the signal. It is not failing you. It is faithful to you. Even when that faithfulness feels like isolation. There is a kind of loneliness that ordinary language cannot fully capture. Not the loneliness of having no one around, but the loneliness of being surrounded and still unseen. Of speaking and being heard but not understood. Of laughing at the right moments and nodding in the right places and performing the choreography of belonging, while the deepest part of you stands at a quiet distance, watching, waiting for something that never quite arrives. That is the particular ache of carrying a rare frequency in a world that has not yet built enough space to hold it. And if you have been living inside that ache for a long time, you may have come to believe it is simply your nature. That this is what life feels like for someone like you. But that belief is not the truth. It is the wound speaking. And the wound has been speaking for long enough. Because here is where it gets difficult. That same sensitivity that makes you rare is the exact thing that has been used against you. Not always by people who meant harm, often by people who were simply limited. Limited in their capacity for depth, limited in their tolerance for intensity, limited in their ability to remain present with someone who could feel the things they had been avoiding feeling for years, somewhere along the way. And for most of you, it started young, far younger than it should have. Someone made you feel that your depth was too much. Your feeling was too intense. Your need for realness was inconvenient. A parent who flinched when you brought them the full weight of your inner world. A friend who laughed when you spoke sincerely. A lover who said they wanted all of you, but retreated the moment all of you actually arrived. And rather than finding people who could match what you were carrying, you learned to carry it alone. You learned to fold yourself into smaller configurations. You learn to translate yourself into simpler words, safer words, words that would not ask too much of the person across from you. You learn to offer connection at a fraction of your full frequency because the full frequency had never, not once, been fully received without consequence. And that is the wound. Not heartbreak in the traditional sense, though you have known that too. not rejection in the simple, clean sense of someone turning away. The wound is subtler and deeper than either of those things. The wound is the long, quiet years of being present in spaces that could not hold you, showing up again and again with the full complexity of what you are, and being met only partially or not at all. And somewhere inside those years, the question formed. Not loudly, not in a moment you can point to, but quietly, persistently, in the background of every lonely drive home and every sleepless night. The question, is being held even possible for me? Not for others. For me, specifically. With all of this, with everything I carry, is there a space in this world large enough to hold it? That question is not a sign of brokenness. It is a sign of how long you have been honest about what you need in a world that kept offering you less. What you just felt, that quiet ache mixed with recognition, is not sadness. It is your frequency remembering what it came here to receive. If this transmission stirred something you cannot name, the Divine Love Frequency Code was written for this exact moment in your journey. It contains 5 sacred Arcturian transmissions designed to dissolve the wounds, blocking your divine counterpart and activate the signal that draws them closer. The link is in the first pinned comment, but it will only remain there for a short time. Most people approach love as a search. They look outward, they optimize their presentation, they place themselves in the right locations and the right apps and the right social configurations, and they wait to be chosen. They treat love like an audition. They curate the most appealing version of themselves and hold their breath, hoping someone will choose that version, praying the version will be enough, quietly terrified that if the full version were visible, it would be too much to hold. But souls like you are not built for that model. You have tried it. You know what it produces. It produces connection that lives at the surface, shimmering and shallow, beautiful in photographs and hollow at 3 in the morning. It produces relationships that feel like wearing a costume, flattering from a distance, exhausting up close, impossible to sustain indefinitely. It produces the particular grinding exhaustion of being wanted for something you are not, by someone who cannot see what you actually are and would perhaps not know what to do with it if they could. That model was never designed for your frequency. It was designed for exchange between people who want to be reflected, not truly known. And you have never just wanted to be reflected. You have wanted to be met. You have wanted the kind of knowing that goes all the way down, that does not flinch at the depths, that stays when the full complexity of you becomes visible and does not reach for the exit. That wanting is not unreasonable. It is not naive. It is the most honest thing about you, and it is pointing you toward a truth that the search model cannot contain. For you, love is not a search. It is a signal. And the reason the connection you are longing for has not yet arrived, or has arrived and then collapsed beneath the weight of what it could not carry, is not because you are too much. It is because your signal has been disrupted. It has been distorted by the wounds you are still carrying, layered like sediment over the years, each disappointment adding another quiet coat. It has been distorted by the beliefs you absorbed when your depth was rejected. Beliefs that embedded themselves so deeply you stopped recognizing them as beliefs and started experiencing them as facts. It has been distorted by the protective patterns you built to survive rooms that were too small for your frequency, the walls, the distance, the careful management of how much of yourself you allow to be visible at any given time. You did not build those walls out of weakness. You built them out of wisdom. They served a real purpose in a real season. But they are no longer serving you. They have become the very thing standing between you and the soul who is meant to find you. Not walls that protect you, but walls that hide you from the one who is looking. This is the first key. And it is the one most overlooked, most underestimated, most easily bypassed in the rush toward outer action. Before your sacred counterpart can locate you, before the recognition happens, before the meeting that changes the trajectory of your entire life and rearranges the landscape of what you thought was possible, your signal must be clear. And clearing it is not about doing more. It is not about becoming more, achieving more, presenting more. It is about releasing what was never yours to carry in the first place. It is about setting down the grief that belongs to other people's limitations and picking back up the truth of your own worth. Think about the beliefs you are holding about love right now. Not the ones you say aloud when someone asks, Not the ones that sound evolved and spiritually literate. The ones underneath those ones. The ones that live below language. The ones that activate at 2 in the morning when the room is quiet and the darkness makes honesty unavoidable. That love always leaves. Not sometimes. Always. It is only a matter of when. That you are fundamentally too complicated. That the architecture of your inner world is too intricate for someone else to navigate without eventually losing patience with the maze. That the people who stay are the ones who have not yet seen all of you. That staying is not a sign of love, but of incomplete information, and that completion of information always produces departure. That intensity like yours burns things down, rather than building them up. That you are not a home but a fire, and fires are beautiful until someone has to live inside them. These beliefs. Do you recognize them? Do you feel where they live in your body when I name them? Those beliefs are not truth. They have never been truth. They are residue. They are the scar tissue of a heart that loved with extraordinary depth in spaces that were not built to hold extraordinary depth, and concluded, in its pain, with the only logic available to it at the time, that the problem was the love itself, not the container, the love. That conclusion was the wound protecting itself. It was the psyche doing the only kind math it knew how to do with the information it had. But it was wrong. It has always been wrong. When you release the belief that your frequency is the problem, when you stop carrying the shame of your own depth as though it were a flaw to be corrected rather than a gift to be matched, everything changes. You stop apologizing mid-sentence for feelings you have every right to feel. You stop translating yourself into smaller, safer, more digestible versions before you offer yourself to another person. You stop arriving preemptively diminished, already braced for the flinch. And the moment you stop doing that, the moment you stand fully in what you are, without contracting, without hedging, without bracing for it to be too much, your signal becomes unmistakable. It does not shout. It does not perform. It simply becomes honest, and honesty at that depth cuts through noise the way nothing else can. It travels distances. It crosses the invisible borders between one life and another. It reaches the one soul in this world who has been trying to locate exactly that frequency. Not because they were searching for it either, but because it matches their own, and they have been living their whole life with the sense that something was trying to find them. The second key is this. Your divine counterpart is not someone who completes you. They are someone who recognizes you. Sit with that difference, because it matters more than almost anything else in this transmission. Completion implies lack. It implies that right now, in this moment, you are partial, a half, waiting for its other half, an equation waiting for its missing variable, a sentence that cannot yet be finished. And that story, however romantically it has been dressed, keeps you in a posture of waiting that quietly hollows you out. It keeps you living in the future, in the arrival, in the moment when love finally makes you whole. But recognition implies something entirely, radically different. It implies that you are already whole. Not perfect, whole. Not finished, whole. That the work you are doing right now, in the quiet and the longing and the deep internal excavation of your own wounds and patterns and untested depths, that work is not preparation for someone else's arrival. That work is the arrival. That work is you becoming more fully present to the self that your counterpart will one day recognize. Every layer you peel back, every truth you face, every old belief you release, that is not time you are spending waiting. That is the main event. That is your life, happening fully and completely, with or without the arrival of another soul. When two souls meet in recognition rather than completion, the experience is unlike anything that ordinary love mythology prepares you for. It does not feel like relief. It does not feel like rescue, like finally being pulled from a long, cold water. It feels like remembrance, like standing in front of a painting you have somehow seen before, in a life or a dream or a place between sleep and waking, like hearing a piece of music and knowing, before the second bar, that it has always been yours, like a conversation that begins in the middle, not awkward, not tentative, but immediately deep. As though what passes between you is not new information, but the continuation of something that was always ongoing. That kind of meeting does not happen by accident. It is not manufactured by the right circumstances or the right app or the right amount of effort. It is the result of two frequencies that have been tuning themselves separately, privately, painfully, persistently, toward the same note for as long as it has taken. The third key is the release of old contracts, and this one, more than any other, requires a particular kind of honesty that most people would rather avoid. Because many of you are still energetically attached to connections that have already completed their purpose. Not through anger, not through bitterness or resentment. Often the attachment is wrapped in something that still genuinely resembles love. A warmth, a tenderness, a memory that sits in the chest like a low, sweet ache. But love that belongs to a previous chapter is not love that belongs to your present field. It is beautiful. It may always be beautiful. And it must be released. Because your energy, your frequency, your full capacity for sacred union cannot open completely while part of it remains allocated to what was. Imagine a river that has been partially dammed. The water still moves, but not with its full power, not with its full current. That is your signal when an old contract remains unclosed, still active, still beautiful in places, but not fully free. You may already know which connection this refers to. You may have known since I began speaking about it, not because you want to return to it, not because you have confused it with your future, but because some part of you is still waiting. For a conversation that never came, for an ending that arrived in the wrong shape, for a closure that you expected would feel like resolution and instead felt like abandonment or incompletion. And that waiting is understandable. It is human, but the closure you are waiting for will not arrive in the form you are expecting it to arrive in, because the closure was never theirs to give. It belongs to you. It has always belonged to you. The ending is something you can only write from inside yourself, consciously, deliberately, with gratitude for what the connection truly was and clear-eyed honesty about what it was not and could never have become. When you take that closure back into your own hands and offer it to yourself, you will feel the thread release. Not dramatically, not as a great severing, more like a door that was almost closed, finally finding its latch. And in the space that opens, a spaciousness you had forgotten was available to you. Your signal becomes clean in a way it has not been in a very long time. The fourth key is the one that tests the patience of even the most spiritually committed soul, divine timing, and the particular quality of surrender it requires. You have been told to trust the timing before. Many of you have been told so many times that the phrase itself has begun to feel like a gentle dismissal, a way of saying, be quiet and wait without actually saying it. And that is because most of the time it has been offered as a platitude, words without marrow, comfort without substance. So let this be offered differently. Let this be offered not as reassurance, but as transmission. The timing is not random. It is not arbitrary. It is not the universe operating on an indifferent schedule that occasionally intersects with human longing by coincidence. The timing is precise in a way that human understanding can barely hold. It is calibrated not just to you, but to both of you simultaneously, to the internal readiness of two souls who are each moving through their own season of excavation, their own unwinding of old wounds, their own arrival into the fullness of what they carry. And both of you are moving. You cannot always feel that you are moving. Some seasons feel like standing perfectly still in the center of a pain that will not pass. But movement is happening beneath the surface of every still-looking moment. The river does not cease to carve the canyon because the canyon cannot see the water moving. Surrender to divine timing is not passivity dressed in spiritual language. It is not the permission to disengage from your own becoming while you wait for someone else to arrive and make your life feel real. It is something far more active and far more demanding than simple waiting. It is active becoming. It is the daily practice of continuing to deepen into yourself. Not because the depth makes the arrival happen faster, though in ways that cannot be fully explained, it does, but because the depth itself is the point. You are not waiting for your life to begin when love arrives. You are living the life that creates the conditions in which love of this magnitude can exist. Every choice you make toward your own wholeness, every boundary you hold when holding it costs you something. Every truth you speak when silence would have been more comfortable. Every morning you choose yourself in the small and quiet ways that no one else can see. That is not time between the love. That is the love. That is you, in sacred relationship with the most important partner you will ever know before your counterpart arrives. That relationship is with yourself. And it is neither lesser nor a substitute. It is foundational. The fifth key is the one that shifts everything, not gradually, but at the level of what you broadcast into the world before you speak a single word. It is magnetic embodiment, and it is the key that most people skip because it sounds abstract and therefore optional, when in truth, it is the most concretely powerful shift available to you. Your frequency is not confined to your inner experience. It is not something that happens privately, invisibly, in the chambers of your heart. It is something you emit, every moment, in every room, through every interaction and every silence. You are broadcasting a signal that is shaped not primarily by what you want, but by what you genuinely believe you are. When you walk into a room carrying the quiet, unnamed belief that you are too much, you broadcast that belief. When you move through your days holding the low-frequency conviction that love of this depth is simply not available to someone like you, that it is something other people get, better adjusted people, simpler people, you broadcast that conviction into the field around you, and the universe, which is a more precise mirror than most people are comfortable acknowledging, reflects those broadcasts back to you not as punishment but as absolute accuracy. Embodiment is different from performance, in a way that cannot be overstated. You cannot think your way into a higher frequency from the outside in. You cannot choose a set of behaviors that mimic the signal of a fully self-recognized soul, while the interior remains unchanged, and expect reality to be fooled by the performance. Reality is not responding to your performance. It is responding to the signal underneath it. But you can, genuinely, moment by moment, imperfectly and persistently, begin to make choices from a different interior. You can begin to make decisions, not from the version of you who is afraid of being too much, but from the version of you who already knows, with quiet and unshakable certainty, that what you carry is not a burden to be apologized for, but a light that deserves a worthy vessel. You can begin to inhabit the present tense of your own worth rather than waiting for external confirmation to make the worth feel real. And when you do that, not once, not perfectly, but as a practice, as a direction, as the general movement of your days, what you emit begins to transform. The quality of what moves toward you begins to transform. Not because you have performed a new version of yourself, but because you have stopped hiding the one who was always there. The sixth key is the one carried most heavily in seasons of apparent stillness and distance, the wisdom buried inside separation. For those of you who are living right now in the painful geography of distance from a connection that feels meant to be, from a counterpart you can sense but cannot yet reach, from a love that is close enough to feel but remains just beyond the edge of your hands, this key is specifically for you. Separation is not failure. It is not the universe withdrawing its care, not a cosmic judgment on your worthiness, not evidence that what you sensed between you was imagined or inflated. Separation is the sacred interval. It is the space between two instruments that are each being tuned into precision before they are brought into harmony. A violin and a cello, before a concert, must each be tuned separately, privately, with full attention given to the instrument itself, rather than to the music they will eventually make together. The interval between the tuning and the concert is not wasted time, it is necessary time. It is necessary time. What appears as absence in that interval is actually refinement. What appears as loss is actually preparation. The distance is not punishment. It is the exact amount of space required for both of you to arrive at the meeting point fully formed. Not half-healed, not holding the old wounding still bleeding, but fully clear, fully present, fully ready to sustain the depth of what the connection is designed to hold. You cannot rush this refinement. You would not want to if you truly understood what is being prepared. But you can use the separation. You can allow it to redirect your attention in the direction it most needs to go. Inward, into the places you have been avoiding, the gifts you have been deferring, the healing you have been postponing until the external circumstances changed. Separation strips away the most convenient distractions. It removes the temptation to define yourself through relationship before you have finished defining yourself through self-knowledge. It offers you, if you choose to receive it, the particular and irreplaceable gift of your own complete presence, the experience of yourself as a full and sufficient world, not a partial one waiting to be completed by another's arrival. That experience, once genuinely inhabited, changes the quality of every connection that follows. It changes what you ask for. It changes what you accept. It changes what you accept. It changes the signal you bring to the meeting when it finally comes. And the seventh key, the final chamber in this sequence, the deepest and most powerful, opens only from within. This is the key that no transmission, no teacher, no guide, no amount of wisdom received from outside yourself can turn. This is the key that lives in the place where knowing becomes decision. Because there is a profound difference between knowing and deciding. You may know, intellectually, everything contained in this transmission. You may have known it for some time. But knowing is a thought. Deciding is a shift at the level of frequency itself. This key turns in the specific, unmistakable moment when you decide. Not hope, not intend, not when the time is right or when I feel ready or one day when I have healed enough, but decide, with the full gathered weight of everything you are, that you are no longer available for love that cannot meet you where you live, that you are no longer willing to translate yourself into smaller words to fit into a connection that was never sized for your soul, that you release, completely and without drama, the version of you who believed it had to settle, that you trust, not as a performance of trust, not as a spiritual affectation, but genuinely, groundedly in the body, in the quiet, that what is meant for you is already in motion, already coming, already calibrated to your exact frequency, to your exact depth, to the specific and irreducible truth of everything you carry. That decision changes your field immediately, not gradually, not eventually. In the moment of its genuine making, it does not change your external circumstances in the same instant. The beloved does not materialize in your living room the moment you decide, but it changes the signal you are broadcasting into the field of all possibility. And that signal, for perhaps the first time, becomes fully coherent, fully honest, without the interference of old wounds distorting it, without the noise of old beliefs competing with it, fully powerful. And it reaches the one who has been listening for it, the one whose own frequency has been tuned to the same note all along. Here is the truth that this entire transmission has been building toward. And it is a truth that deserves to be received not just in the mind, but in the body, in the chest, in the specific place where you keep the tender, undefended part of yourself that still dares to want what it wants. You are not unlovable. You have never been unlovable. Not in any season, not in any chapter, not in any moment, when it felt most absolutely like evidence of unlovability. You are not too much. You have never been too much. You have only ever been in the wrong containers, containers that were too small to hold your depth and called your depth excessive rather than admitting their own limitation. You are not someone who has been overlooked by love or passed over by the universe, or forgotten by the intelligence that holds all sacred unions in its knowledge. You are someone whose love runs deep enough to require a match that is equally deep. And deep things are rare. Deep things take time to form, take centuries of pressure to become diamond, take the full patience of the earth to create. You are not unmatched. You are waiting to be matched at the level your soul has always known was possible. Every ache you have felt in your longing was not evidence of your unworthiness. It was the extraordinary sensitivity of a heart that was built for something genuinely rare and that refused, even when refusing was painful, even when it would have been so much easier to simply accept less, to mistake something ordinary for the thing it came here to receive. Every wall you built was not the evidence of damage. It was protection, wisely given in the season that required it, now ready to be wisely released into a season that no longer needs it. Every night, you lay awake in the vastness of what you carry, wondering if anyone would ever be large enough to hold it, wondering if the longing was the most honest thing about you or simply the saddest. Those nights were not wasted. Those nights were your frequency staying true. Those nights were the deepest part of you refusing to lie about its own nature. You were never broken. You were calibrating. Every difficult season was calibration. Every false start was calibration. Every moment of longing so precise it felt like grief was calibration. And calibration, the long, patient, exquisite work of becoming precisely and fully yourself, is what makes the meeting possible when it finally comes. Tonight, before you sleep, place your hand on your heart, not as a ritual, but as a conversation, and say simply, quietly, to whatever intelligence lives behind your own heartbeat, I am ready to be found. I am ready to receive what I have always been worth. I trust the soul that is moving toward me, and I release everything that is not them. Before you scroll away from this, take 30 seconds and drop one word in the comments. One word that describes what you are genuinely calling in right now, not what you think you should say. What is true? And then read someone else's word and let them know they are not alone in their longing, because that is the thing about rare frequencies. They recognize each other even through screens, even through distance, even before they have ever been in the same room. This space is full of them. You are not watching alone. You are healing in a field of souls who carry exactly what you carry. If this reached you, do not keep it to yourself. Someone in your life is lying awake tonight with this exact ache and no name for it yet. Send this to them. Let it find them the way it found you. And if you want to stay in this frequency, if you want more of this kind of transmission, subscribe. Not as a number, as a continuation. Because this conversation is far from over, and the next one was made for exactly the place you are heading.